Hi everyone, this is Sarah with the Lee Home Team here. Welcome to Real Estate 101. I have here with me today my team lead Jay, who's a realtor here in the area, as well as our preferred lender Derrick.
What's up, guys?
With Aligned Mortgage. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right, so what I wanted to do today was a little kind of 101 for my friends and I guess millennials in general. So I'm 26. We're all kind of getting to that point now where we're no longer kids, we're moving out or have moved out of our parents' homes and now are starting to either buy homes or think about buying homes in the future, but there's that question of how does one go about doing that? So obviously I know a little bit more than a lot of people simply because I'm in real estate. So I wanted to ask both of you to kind of give me a rundown for everyone at home. That way we can kind of see what that process looks like so we know a little bit more about how to go about buying a home.
I can tell you right now exactly everything you need to do and know pretty quickly and easily.
Perfect.
So the key is, whether you're 26, 22, or 42, if you're renting and you don't own a home, this is what you need to do. You need to make sure that you're renting within your means, okay? Stay at home for as long as you can, save money. Okay, you know what I mean? There's no shame in that game. If you need to live with your parents till you're 25, 26, 27, 28 years old, whatever, till you save enough money so you can go do something on your own, there's no trophy that you get for paying $2,500 a month in rent to live on your own. There just isn't. It may be something you feel like you need to do, but I've watched people who didn't have great incomes, who didn't do anything smart other than stay with their parents for an extended period of time and save money. If you can't do that, if that's not an option for you, then make sure you're renting beneath your means and saving money every month, because what you're doing effectively by renting and saving money is, even though you don't own, you're paying towards your future house. You're actually owning, even though you don't own yet. You're taking money every month and putting it into a savings account that is going to go towards a future purchase of your real estate. Therefore, you're making progress every month, even though it doesn't feel like it, even though you don't have a loan yet. You're making progress every month towards your future home ownership. That is the main thing that you need to do, is make sure you're in a position to save money every month. Even if it's $100, so be it. If it's $500, if it's $1,000, whatever it is that you can save every month, know that that is going towards your future purchase.
So on the lending side, Derrick, can you walk us through the process of getting pre-approved all the way through to funding and the documents needed and what that process looks like?
Sure. How long do you
Simply, very simply. Not
The summary.
The summary?
Summary.
Online application, documents, pre-approval, find a house, get in contract, 30 days later it's yours. So it's really not that hard.
What documents will they need at the very beginning, though?
Yes.
So I think she's asking.
Sure. Income documents. So, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements. You're going to need to prove that you have the assets that you need. You can get a gift, by the way. So let's say, you don't like my plan and you have parents who are willing to, give you money to go purchase a home. You can get a one-time gift, and they just need to sign a gift letter saying that you don't owe them for that money. And you can get a gift. You can buy a house. So for a lot of people who maybe aren't great at saving or maybe just got a job and have student loan bills that they're working on, you can go ahead and get that gift from your parents, and we can use that to purchase a home. So the process itself is pretty simple. We do income and credit, right? You have to credit qualify and you have to income qualify for the loan. And as long as you qualify for both, then you're good. So it's not as bad as people think. The application takes 10 or 12 minutes. And you can find out where you're at, pretty quickly. I mean, within the same day, you can find out where you are. If you want to find out where you're at today, you can literally call us today. We can get an application done in 12 minutes. And submit me your income documentation, and by this evening, you will know where you stand.
Only 12?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. And I think that's one thing that I wanted to stress, and why I wanted to have both of you here today was so that we could see somebody who was in their 20s. We think it's this huge process and it takes a long time and there's so much that goes into it, but it is relatively simple, and that is something that I wanted to kind of point out.
Totally true.
Now for anybody who maybe didn't make the best decisions while they were in their early 20s and doesn't maybe have the best credit, what do we do to help them repair said credit so that they can buy a home?
Yeah, so if you have challenges with credit, then that's something that we look at on a case-by-case basis. Fortunately, in this circumstance, I have a lot of experience with that. We have a great contact for credit repair should we need that. But a lot of times it's just things you need to do on your own. You need to make sure that you're paying your credit card bills down, before the statement ending date every month. That'll help maximize your credit score. A few things like that where I can give you tips that, hey, if you just go do these things for the next couple months, you may not need to spend any money or do anything any differently,
Right.
but it'll allow the credit scoring algorithm to view the information on your credit report in a more favorable way. The good news is, even if you're an FHA buyer, minimum credit score is only 600 right now.
Wow.
So you don't need a great credit score, and a lot of people think they need a 720 credit score to buy a house, and you absolutely don't. So most likely, the vast majority of people who are seeing this will actually credit qualify. And so I think that's an important thing to note, that you may not think you qualify, but most likely you do.
So, Jay, is it smart to say, I want to buy a house, and then go out and buy your dream car during the process? I've heard a couple stories. So tell me about that one.
No, don't do that. Do not make any purchases while you're in escrow that are major purchases.
Right, and don't open any new credit cards. I have heard an
Or
instance.
take any new loans.
Yeah.
Or co-sign for someone for a loan.
Ooh, it's a good one.
That's a killer right there. You don't want to start new debt, because now the bank, Derrick, will have to go through and re-qualify you and re-underwrite you, because now your debt to income ratio has changed. Now you might thought you were doing something very simple. It's $100 a month. That $100 might be the difference between you owning that home and you still renting an apartment. So just don't risk it. And I know we've had buyers in the past call and say, hey, can we do this? And we've looked at it and been like, yeah, you should be fine. And they go and do it. Other ones have done it on surprise. And, those surprises are sometimes hard to overcome. So, yeah, don't make any big purchases.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Jay, so the buying process, not on the lending side, but as a realtor, when somebody makes the decision that they would like to buy a home and they go and they get pre-approved, what does our side look like? That process from, here's the pre-approval letter, this is what I want, to handing over the keys. What does that look like, roughly?
So, first, you got to get all your body armor on. You're ready for war.
If you're here in San Diego, he's not kidding.
Yeah, we're going to go to fight somebody. So, don't worry, I'm a big dude. I'll punch him in the mouth. So, anyway, your first step is we're going to sit down, you and your agent, hopefully it's Sarah. She's, nicer than I am. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. She's not nice at all. No, so you're going to sit down with, one of our agents, and you're going to sit down and have a conversation. Before we even decide to work with each other, we have to see if we're going to get along, if we're a good fit, if what you're looking for is something that we're willing to do, right, in the first place. After we have that initial consultation and, meet and greet, we go through, a needs and wants list. You need to have this, but you would want to have this. Now, what's always more important? Your needs, right? So we'll find out what those are, and then your wants are negotiable. We'll try to find you something with that, but if not, it's okay, because you still have your needs. Now, if there's more than one person involved with this, basically, two decision makers, two partners, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, father and son. I've had that too. Whatever y'all are doing, the two decision makers need to be present for this entire process. All right? I can't go over there and be like, hey, Sarah, would you like this? And hey, Derrick, would you like that? And y'all not be in the same room at the same time. From there, we get that. We'll hunt for off-market properties for you. Find, a big list of properties, and then we try to narrow it down to the 5 best properties for you. From those 5 properties, we'll go see those, and any one of those properties you should be willing to make a purchase on. If they're not, then it's not the right house for you to go look at, because it doesn't fit your criteria, right? It's a big waste of your time, and your time is valuable to us, so we don't want to do that to you. So after we go see these houses, Sarah, we then make an offer on one of those houses. We put in a strong offer. There isn't really any lowballing or anything like that right now. It's just not going to happen with today's inventory.
What are the 2 things that can get an offer accepted?
Terms and price.
Thank you.
So again, we'll get to that part in a second. So we make the offer, get it accepted, a strong offer. right? So strong is going to be your offer price and your terms. Like, can you close quickly, and can you give a rent back? Can you give them time in the home afterwards at no charge? Can you, offer more money? Can you shorten contingencies? Can you remove contingencies? All these things depend on what you can do as a buyer. Now, once we go into escrow, once your offer is accepted, then we get to the negotiation process of repairs and all that. So after the repairs are settled, there's also an appraisal in there somewhere. It depends on when the lender schedules it. We don't control that. And the appraisal comes back, and if it's good, hey, we're good. If it's too low, then we try to negotiate that down with the seller. Then after that, we get closer to closing. We have our final walkthrough where we walk through the home to make sure that the home is still in the condition that you saw it when you loved it. Now, if it's not, that's another, discussion we have to have with the sellers. Normally it doesn't happen because people don't trash things when they're getting paid a lot of money for them. Right?
You'd hope.
Yeah, I would hope so. It's like driving a Lamborghini through a fence for fun. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
But from there, after your final walkthrough, you have your closing. So at closing, what will happen is a few days before you close your deal, the lender and escrow will get their paperwork all together, and a notary will come to you at a place that you're choosing. You'll sit down, the notary will go over the documents with you, you'll sign said documents. Those documents get taken back to escrow and then back to the lender. The lender's funder will get them, fund the loan, get that paperwork back over to, to escrow. Let them know, hey, we funded, here's the receipt for funding. They get that over to title records with the county, and now the house is yours.
Now the house is yours.
Yours.
I do have one last question before we close it out. Are there any common myths that we as millennials need to know about the home buying process that you guys come across?
You go first.
Sure. Yeah.
Lending side.
I think main myth is that, well, I don't qualify because I'm not a perfect buyer. I have to be a perfect buyer. I have to be established. I have to be at my job for 10 years. I have to make $100,000 or whatever. The biggest myths are things that people just kind of make up. They don't really see it anywhere. They just in their minds think that it must have to be that way. But you got to remember, there's Ginnie Mae, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. These entities they're government-sponsored enterprises, GSEs, they are there to try to promote home ownership. They have made it much easier, and they continue to make it easier for people to buy homes legitimately. And so home ownership is something that is good. It is good for you. If you do nothing else in your financial life besides buy a home and own it free and clear, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. If you retire with a home that's paid off free and clear, you're going to be all right, no matter what else is going on. So we promote this because it's important. The government promotes it because it's important. There's a direct correlation between when people retire and when their homes are paid off. And so that's why we encourage people who are younger to look at buying a home sooner, because the sooner that you can buy a home, the sooner you can have it paid off, the sooner you can be in a place of freedom or retirement or financial security, whatever is important to you.
I got to agree with him. Not necessarily the perfect buyer thing, but every buyer seems to think that they have to have 20% down.
Yeah.
Right? And in today's market, that's over $100,000. Right? We don't need that. You need, at a minimum, 3.5% down. And if you're a VA, you need 0 down. So a lot of people don't think they qualify. And so many people don't know that you don't have to be active duty to use your VA loan. You can be a reservist, you can be retired, you can be, separated from the military. As long as you still have that VA benefit, you can still use it. And I've seen so many veterans that are still using conventional FHA loans and not taking advantage of their VA. So you don't need 20% down. It all depends on what program you're using. And this guy right here can answer those questions.
Yes. I really appreciate both of you for being here today for Real Estate 101 with the Lee Home Team. Thank you for watching.